Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our team training call for Tuesday, January 17th of 2012. Tonight, what people buy, the anatomy of a solution. These past couple of weeks, my team and I have had a Reset Weight Loss Challenge running down here in St. Pete, and simultaneously, Gemma Hughes has been running one as well up in Morgantown. And Gemma piloted this whole Reset Weight Loss Challenge for us just before the holidays, a couple months before the holidays started, and had some very, very good success up in West Virginia. I know she picked up, I think, at least 10 customers in her last Reset Weight Loss Challenge. The beautiful thing is about the anatomy of a solution, and what I will be telling you about tonight, is we used this exact process down here. And we didn't have a huge turnout. It's challenging to get a lot of people to come to these different events that you have. But last week and this week, we had a 100% close rate. Every single person that came joined us and bought products and signed up for the Weight Loss Challenge. So that's huge. I mean, 100%. You know, you could only have, if you only have 4 or 5 people there, it's like having 20 there. If you had only a 20% close rate, you'd only get that many people. So I'd rather have fewer people and have a high close rate and have people hang with us. And the whole idea here in our business is to turn these people into customers for life. So even just a few customers can make an absolutely huge difference for your business over time. So tonight, we'll be talking about the anatomy of a solution, and we'll go over some successes from some of the team members that are having, and then we'll get right into what people buy, anatomy of a solution, and then I will be using what we've been doing here for the last, Gemma started it back in, I think, October, and then we modified it and have been using it and helping Gemma been working with us to actually improve what we've been doing. And we'll be using that as the case study for what I'm going to be teaching tonight. Our motto in 2012 and beyond, build it big, build it permanent. Have fun, help people, and make money. And that's really what the anatomy of a solution is all about. It really comes down to helping people, because at the core of all of it, people are looking for solutions to a problem, to what they need or what they want. So, and then as a consequence, when we help them with that, guess what? We make money. And I think it's really important to have fun doing it. I know we've been having fun with our challenge down here. The people that have been joining us have been having fun. And when you can bring that positive energy to your customers, it's going to show. It's going to show for them. It's going to show in the results they get. And, boy, it sure makes doing business a lot more fun. Okay, let's just jump right into team member successes. Top 50 growth by state. Chris Lopez and Jason Wells, the Integritus Group, a couple of my big mentors in this business. These guys have helped me. They've just been an absolutely huge help to me in building my business. So thanks, guys, and look at that, Integritus Group, Nevada, #1. Gemma Hughes, just really, really rocking it up there in West Virginia in Morgantown, #1 for the growth. Top Growth 50 in West Virginia. And Lisa Bertner is on her team and a business partner with her, and Lisa's #5. So congratulations to the West Virginia group. You guys are really, really going at it. And then down here in Florida, myself, #14, tied with Jackie Ramirez down in Miami. So congratulations, Jackie. Way to go. And there's Roger Ness. He's been bumping on these charts just about every week now for quite a while. So congratulations to Roger Ness for being #12 in New Jersey. And my favorite, the top 50 income earners by state. And all this, of course, is for the week ending January 13th of 2012. And look at that, the Integritus Group, Chris Lopez and Jason Wells, #4. Way to rocket guys. And Gemma, #2 in West Virginia. And Lisa Bertner, #5. There's the West Virginia group doing well. You guys are really starting to make an impact up there, so congratulations. And there's myself in Florida, #17. Congratulations to me and Meg Corso. Hey, #34, Meg, you've really been working hard at your business and taking the training seriously, and you keep popping up on the top income earner chart more and more practically all the time. So congratulations, Meg. And Jackie Ramirez, also number 34 in Florida. And there's Joanne and Roger Ness. Joanne number 12 and Roger number 18 for the top 50 income earners for New Jersey. So way to go, the Nesses. Lisa Bertner, congratulations last week, number 1 associate or distributor enroller for West Virginia. Way to go, Lisa. Let's just jump right into the top 50 preferred customer enrollers by state. And there's Pete Thibodeau. Congratulations, Pete, number 5 for Florida. Way to go. And Pete is very active in our Reset Weight Loss Challenge, and many of the participants that he's been bringing to the Weight Loss Challenge are actually his customers. So congratulations, Pete Thibodeau. And he's also had great success using the whole Reset Weight Loss Challenge principles that the whole Reset program is based on to lose weight. And you'll see that later on in the call, some pictures of Pete and the amazing results he's had. And then Gemma Hughes, number 1 in West Virginia. Way to go, Gemma. You just keep rocking it week after week after week. So congratulations to all the team members for their successes. Way to go. And we will just jump right into the training tonight. And really it's the title is What People Buy, Anatomy of a Solution. That's what it's all about, what people buy. What do people really buy? Well, guess what? People do not buy services and products. They just don't. People buy solutions. They buy solutions to problems. They buy solutions that will take care of a need or needs they have, and same thing with their desires. That's what people buy. They buy solutions. They could probably, most of us could care, I could care less about a service or a product. I'm really out there looking for solutions. That's what I'm looking for. So let's think about that. What are you selling? Chris Lopez asked me that question last week when I was working on one of my websites, and it kind of threw me a little bit of a loop there when he said, what are you selling? I mean, really, when you start thinking about it, a lot of us start thinking in terms of products and services and things like that and whatever. But more specifically, we need to be thinking about solutions and what are the solutions that we're selling. That's what it comes down to, because really, overall, that is what people are looking for. And if you don't think that's what they're looking for, check out why Google has become one of the largest companies in the world, because they provide a search engine to help people find solutions to their problems, to their needs, and to their desires. That's what Google does. And in fact, Google's been cleaning up their space out there, and a lot of advertisers now on Google are having a much harder time because Google wants people to very quickly find quality products and services that will meet their need, because people go to Google. Google's reputation is really, they want it to be, you come to us, we'll help you find that solution that you're looking for. That's why Google exists. And one of the things we found out as some of us advertise on Google, do pay-per-click ads, Google now wants it so when somebody clicks on your ad and they land on your website, within just 3 seconds, they have to know what quote you're selling. Really is what we're selling is we're selling solutions. That's what people are looking for. They're looking for solutions. And it's fun to go on Google and you can look at all the different search terms and find out what people are searching for. What are they predominantly searching for? What kind of problems are they looking to solve? What kind of needs do they want to fulfill? What are their desires that they're looking for solutions for? And that's what our call is all about tonight. So that's the anatomy of a solution. And the 3 basic parts are, somebody has a problem, a need, or a desire. There's a solution out there for that problem, that need, or that desire. And of course, then there's the result. People want to get the results. The solution better work, and it better give them the results they're looking for, or they'll stop using the solution that they found. And we're in a unique, in my opinion, we're in a very unique position representing and working with USANA Health Sciences, because we have unique solutions that continually deliver and work for people. And when we can say that in the last Winter Olympics, 99 of the Winter Olympic athletes used our products, and 22 of those Winter Olympic athletes medaled, 6 gold, 8 silver, 8 bronze, and the list just goes on and on and on. We have very good uniqueness and very good solutions to a host of health issues to people. And our business has that same kind of a solution because we've been rated in so many categories as being one of the best companies out there. It doesn't matter whether you're considering multi-level marketing, network marketing, or just plain direct selling companies. And our products compete with any company regardless of their selling model. So that's the anatomy of a solution: problem, solution, result. Don't forget that. Every time I forget that, my business starts to take a dive, and I get off track, and we're looking at something else, and I'm not focusing on providing a solution and giving people the benefits that they're looking for as part of that solution. Okay, let's just do a quick example here. Problem: I need fast food. Solution: fast food restaurants. Results: it's fast. And nobody needs to go out and look at the financial statements of the fast food companies. They are a multi-billion-dollar industry. And that's the solution. People want fast food. They give it to you fast. And the faster they give it to you, the more successful they generally are. They compete on that quality of giving you that fast food. That's a perfect example. I'm not into fast food myself anymore. Haven't been for over a decade, but that's the anatomy. Let's just try another one real quick here. Problem: I need weight loss, or I want to look good in a bikini, or I want to look good in a bathing suit, or whatever it is. But there's the problem. Basically, I want to lose weight. What's the solution? Diet plans, and there are zillions of them. Just go out there and search and see how many diet solutions are that are trying to provide a solution. Now, of course, a lot of businesses don't provide a quality solution, and they go out of business, or they don't know how to market it. Hence, they go out of business, even if they have a good solution. You'll see the Reset one there. That's our little logo off of Facebook that we use. And we don't even have a plan. We've got something unique about ours, but we offer a solution for weight loss. And, of course, that's the results people are looking for. You see the girl over on the left? People want to lose weight. They want to look better. They want to feel better. Maybe they just want to look better. Maybe they want to feel better. Maybe they have type 2 diabetes. Maybe they have a host of other problems that they're trying to solve by losing weight. And that's what you need to find out in this business is what kind of results are they looking for? You know they have a problem, and then does the solution that you have to offer take care of that need, that desire, okay, or that problem? That's the bottom line. So the anatomy is very, very simple, but it's amazing how small business owners and multinational corporations blow it and get away from this simple model. And the ones that stick to it, boy, I'll tell you, you can just see it. They are so successful. So, like I said, problem, solution, result. And I have a case study for us tonight, and it's going to be a case study based on actually what we've been doing over the last, particularly the last 2 weeks, but prior to that when Gemma started all this back in October up in Morgantown, West Virginia. So let's just kind of dissect each one of these three parts of the anatomy of a solution: the problem, the need, or desire. This is absolutely critical. You must make the emotional connection. It is critical that you connect on an emotional level with somebody that has a problem, a need, or desire. If you actually want to build a relationship with them and build a long-term customer relationship with them, it's critical to have that emotional connection. Why is that? It's simple, and we've talked about this many times on my training calls. Decisions are based on emotion, how we feel about something. We use facts to justify our decision or choice once it's been made. People will base what they do on their emotion, how they feel about it, even if they don't think they do. It's a well-proven fact that that's what happens. Okay, so that's for the problem. Now let's look at the solution. So when you're offering a solution now, what's the important part of a solution? Well, why is this different? Why is what you're offering different or unique? And it's often referred to as the unique selling proposition or USP. What's different? What's special about it? Why is it different than all the other offerings that are being offered out in the market to solve their problem? And it's extremely important to present the solution. It either needs to be a simple solution, or if there's no simple solution involved, it needs to be presented in simple terms. And there is a deep reason for that. A confused prospect will always walk away. A confused prospect will always walk away. So we need to simplify things. And sometimes it's even important to go help them simplify their problem and then present a simple or simply expressed solution. I can't overemphasize this. I have lost a lot of customers, particularly when I got into this business. My background, I'm a business analyst. I'm a computer analyst. I built huge systems. I did tons of analysis. I'm a detail-oriented person. And guess what? I learned a lot about our business. I learned a lot about our nutrition, our compensation plan, how to build a business, all about the products. And I would absolutely overwhelm people with information. And they walked away. I couldn't figure it out. And when you confuse a prospect, they'll walk away. You won't hear from them. You won't even know why. But it's probably because you confused them. They're not going to buy. And then the last one is the results. And when you are working with a client or a prospective customer, it's good to use testimonials, illustrations, stories, guarantees, clinical results. Now remember, some of these are facts, but we actually want to present them, and we want to have that emotional hook when we're presenting all of this stuff. Okay? And really is what they want to know at the bottom line is, if I buy this solution, will I get the results that are promised? That's what they want to know. So many businesses in the past have ripped people off. They play on this. They use this equation. They don't have a good product. They have a lot of marketing hype, and they know what to say to people. And people are very, very leery now. So they really need to know. So how you present those results to people, once again, you want to present them simply. And they want to know that other people, if they do what the solution that you suggest says, then most people should get those results. And that's what they want to know. And that's why I like stories, because facts tell and stories sell. We've been over this before on a lot of my training calls, and I'm telling you, it's stories sell. That's just the bottom line. You use facts to help people understand and justify the decision they made based on emotion, but the story evokes that emotion. Now, the interesting thing is, when you actually look at a good story usually has at least 3 parts, right? Somebody had a problem that they needed to solve or address, or they had a need or a desire. Then they took some action, and maybe some of the actions they took didn't work, but then some of the actions they did take actually provided them with the solution or the outcome they were looking for. So when you're telling a story, it actually has the 3 parts of the anatomy of a solution. It contains the problem, it contains the action, and it contains the result. It has all 3 of those properties. That's why I love stories, and that's why the presentations that we've been putting together for the Reset Weight Loss Challenge revolve around stories, always. Okay, so let's just jump right into the case study. Like I said, we've been doing the Reset Weight Loss Challenge. We put all this together. It's all based on standard information that USANA's made available to all of us with the work they've done and the clinical results. Our company provides us with great facts. And there's a lot of customers and a lot of people have used USANA products to have fabulous results. Now, we're talking product right now, but the same goes with business. That's why we have over 170 members in the $1 Million Club, because they've been so successful with their businesses. So it really doesn't matter. Our company excels in helping people create wealth, and it excels at helping people create health. And both of those go hand in hand. So let's just get right into the case study. So like I said, the first thing is the problem needed a desire. You need to make the emotional connection. So when we first got rolling in the Reset Weight Loss Challenge, Lindsay Lumpkins was our presenter. Why? Because she has a great story. I just love this. We have it right on her slide. She remembers sitting on the couch, eating bowls of ice cream, watching season after season of The Biggest Loser, and pretty much hating herself. So right away when she starts out and we make our informational presentation to see if people are involved in, they can identify with this. It brings up that emotion, and she connects with them emotionally. And then we've got this other information over here where, the before, she was miserable. The after, she's happy. She's much happier, and she feels better, and all the things that go along with weight loss. So that's what she tells. She tells her story, and she spends a good amount of time telling her story and making sure that the audience, and she's just done a beautiful job the last 2 weeks, making sure the audience is connecting with that. That's that emotional connection that we're talking about that is absolutely critical as you're moving forward in the anatomy of a solution, the emotional connection. And here's some of the slides she runs through. She shows two women that are approximately the same age. One of them's healthy because they've eaten properly, they've exercised, they've taken the proper nutrients and supplements. And you see the woman on the left healthy, and then you see the woman over on the right who's not. Does that bring out emotion? Do people connect with that? Absolutely. I go, boy, I haven't been taking very good care of myself, and I want to start doing that before it's too late. It's just another way for us to get that emotional connection with our prospective customers. And then we have a couple of slides here. Of course, we all want to be happy. We all want to be healthy. We all want to have a great life. Now remember, what we're really doing here is we're just running through this whole first part of this anatomy of a solution, which is the problem and some of the results and what the solution can look like. This is what we all want. And then we'll jump right into some of the slides that are on today's health reality of how many people have cardiovascular disease, 17 million, 7.76 million cases of cancer, stroke, respiratory disease, diabetes, on and on. 1 in 3 Americans, if the current trend continues, will be diagnosed with diabetes and lose an average of 10 to 15 years of their life. Think about that. If you have kids, you're going to miss 10 to 15 years of their life, or grandkids. I happen to be a grandparent now. I want to be around. I want to be healthy for my grandkids. It's that emotional connection. It's that way for all of us. We have this slide that comes up. She talks about our insecurities are like demons that stop us from moving forward. I like this slide. You can't do this. You suck. Just give up already. All of us fight those kind of things. It doesn't matter whether it's in our business or in our health, our career. It doesn't matter. So it's all to make that emotional connection. Now, I'm not bringing up all the slides we use in these two presentations. These are just examples of some of the slides that we're using in our presentations to get a connection with the audience, to present a solution, and to show them the results they can get. I love this slide. It talks about breaking free and achieving greater success. And Lindsay talks about, we can't do this for you. This is something you're going to have to do. We're going to be here to help you. We're going to step you through this. It's going to be easy. It's a simple program. We don't want to confuse people. We want them to know that we're here to help them. And we will answer questions as they move forward in their quest to lose weight and have the kind of life that they really want to have, so their health doesn't drive them, so their health supports what they want to do in their life and what they want to achieve, doesn't impede them from going forward. So those are the slides that we present, some of them, to get that emotional connection. And like I said, stories sell. Lindsay's story got people connected right there and got their attention for the rest of the presentation. And then our presentation, we move into the solution phase. And once again, the solution phase is, why is this different and unique? There's so many weight loss programs out there. You guys just throwing some more of the same old at us. And just remember, this is often referred to as the unique selling proposition, why we are different. Now, if you're on this call, you probably know that we are different and that our products are clinically tested and that we have quality that almost nobody has in their products. And these products actually do make a huge difference. So we have a genuine solution to offer people. But we need to present it simply. It can be quite complicated how we present that solution. So we want to make sure that that solution is being presented in a very simple, easy, straightforward manner. Because now we've got their emotion, and they're connected emotionally, so why is this solution going to be different? And it better be easy. So the thing that we tell them is there's just 3 key principles in our program. And once you have these 3 key principles down, even if you just get 2 of them down, you're going to be a whole lot better. But if you do all 3 of them, you're going to have amazing results. And once again, you're going to see some terminology on this screen, and they're going to see some terminology they might not be familiar with. You just can't start using words in a presentation that you don't describe and explain. We can say our program has 3 key components. low glycemic foods or low glycemic eating. But most people don't understand what that means. Optimal cellular nutrition, what does that mean? I mean, that's a little more descriptive, and then exercise. Most people understand that, but a lot of people start thinking, oh boy, I'm going to have to be doing 45 minutes of some of the most horrible, demanding exercise on the planet. So we begin by describing to them the exercise is going to be easy. We're talking about walking maybe 5 times a week for 20 minutes a day. It can be that simple to start with. We're talking about taking some cellular nutrition that's complete, balanced, and whole. And we'll tell them, hey, we'll get into more details on all of these things. And low glycemic foods are foods that actually stabilize and balance your body, particularly your blood sugar, so that you don't have these huge cravings going on. We just keep it very simple like that when we're at this stage. And these are the 3 things. These are the only 3 things that you need to know to make this program work. And we're going to help you over the next few weeks. This is what we tell them. We're going to help you over the next few weeks as you move through and implement these three key principles in your life. And basically, these are lifestyle changes. We'll bring up this slide with Dr. Ray Strand, who talks about a moderate exercise program, a healthy diet, low glycemic foods, and high-quality, complete, and balanced nutritional supplements. I'll even go on to say that I even have information that Dr. Strand has worked with over 50 people with diabetes, and using these principles, he's actually helped them get off of their insulin and not show any signs of type 2 diabetes anymore. That's how powerful our program is. We'll kind of look at the audience. You want to not go too fast, but you want to keep things moving along and let them know that there's going to be a Q&A at the end, and they can ask any questions they want. So those are the 3 things, once again, moderate exercise, low glycemic foods, high-quality, complete, and balanced nutritional supplements. And then we'll substantiate a few of these things. We might throw this slide up there that says in 1996 the USDA served 16,000 individuals, and it was concluded that not one person was getting the nutritional requirements set forth by the recommended daily allowance. And we might say something that's why so many of these fad diets don't work, because they do not provide your body with the necessary nutrients you need for long-term weight loss and health. We'll start showing them some of the different things. Look, here's Lindsay applying just the principle of exercise alone. She lost 25 pounds in 12 months when she became a personal trainer. But when she started applying all 3 of the principles of optimal cellular nutrition, exercise, and low glycemic eating, she lost her last 25 pounds, which are usually the tougher ones to lose, the last weight you're going to lose, in just 12 weeks. That's how amazing this program works. This is what we're saying. Here's Robert Hirabayashi. Optimal cellular nutrition and low glycemic foods and no exercise. He only applied 2 of the 3 principles, and Robert lost 70 pounds over 36 weeks. And Robert knows now he would have lost that much quicker if he would have applied all 3 of them. We let people know they don't have to do it alone, that they're going to be assigned a Reset Weight Loss coach to guide them step by step through the program, so they're not going to have to do this alone. And it'll be a Reset coach that has used the program and understands the principles, and most of the coaches have all used the Reset program to lose significant amounts of weight like Lindsay. We'll throw this slide in there that it's a doctor-approved program. We'll tell them maybe we'll get into the clinical results a little bit and show them some of the clinical results. Usually you see 4 slides right now popping up here: body weight, systolic blood pressure, total cholesterol, and triglycerides. We put each one of these on a separate slide. You don't want to put too much information on a slide, but we can show people. Here's the clinical results that were done at the University of Colorado in a 12-week study with 25 individuals, and their collective body weight went from 215 to 202. Their systolic blood pressure, where they were just on the verge of pretty heavy-duty hypertension, all the way from 131 down to 121. We might ask in the crowd, do you know anybody that has high blood pressure, total or has high cholesterol or high triglycerides? You can actually ask and get that engagement from the audience, because these problems are prevalent with people, and they've been to their doctor, and their doctors are telling them you've got to do something about your weight, you've got to do something about your cholesterol. And of course, their solution typically can be, not all doctors, but a lot of doctors, is take the pharmaceutical route. This is one of the slides just blowing up. You'll want to use the slides, not all of them on one slide. It's just too much for people. Keep it very simple. Stick to one slide when you're showing slides to people in a presentation. And we'll often bring this slide up of Kathy Kaler because this adds some more credibility to our program. She was the fitness coordinator, correspondent for the Today Show for 13 years. And she trains people like Julia Roberts and Michelle Pfeiffer and Cindy Crawford and Jennifer Aniston. And that she uses and recommends the USANA products for her clients to achieve the health goals that they're looking to achieve. So that adds a lot of credibility to our program. Once again, why is our program different than the other programs that are out on the market? We'll get into, this is very simple. When you want to get started, we'll get you started with the Reset Kit. You're not going to have to worry about cooking, grocery shopping, or anything for the first 5 days. Our kit includes everything you need to jumpstart healthier eating habits and begin your weight loss. We can tell them the typical weight loss for most people using the weight reset program is 4 to 5 pounds, just in the first 5 days of the program. So it's very, very simple. We'll tell them something like this. Hey, we're going to help you take the guesswork out of this. Can you do this? Can you have a shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, a snack bar in the afternoon, take your supplements, and have a low glycemic dinner, and walk 20 to 30 minutes 5 days per week? Can you do this? If you can do this, then you can start to have amazing results. So those are some of the kind of things that we will do to show them what the solution looks like and why it works. And then we'll just get into the results. And once again, Lindsay's already, at the beginning of the presentation, we've talked about how there's the 3 parts to this. But you don't always do them totally sequentially. It's just the problem, it's just the solution, it's just the results. A lot of times these things are intermixed. So you don't have, but you need to have all of these pieces and parts are all part of the solution when you're presenting it, because what are they buying? They're buying the solution, and they want to know that it's going to work. So then we get into the results. And once again, I just love stories. Stories sell. So we'll have Lindsay's story. She may touch on her story again or not, depending on who's presenting. Here's Pete Thibodeau. He's an 8th degree black belt. He lost 8 pounds in the first 5 days on the Reset Kit. That shows how well the program works. Look at his result, 20 pounds in 30 days. Amazing. And Pete's there, and he'll interject and talk about how well the program worked for him. Here's Robert Hirabayashi, 70 pounds in 36 weeks. Once again, we're talking results now. We're showing them the kind of results they'll get. They want to lose weight. We showed them what the solution is. Our program with the 3 components. Remember, it's simple, 3 components: optimal cellular nutrition, exercise, and low glycemic eating. That's all you need to be able to do. You master those 3 things, and you'll be healthy for life. Gloria Harris, 70 pounds in 36 weeks, using the principles of the program, the simple principles. We may show them, once again, these would all be on separate slides. We may show them some of the clinical results from the University of Colorado to bring them along. One of the things we did last week to close on our presentation about what the glycemic index is and why it's important to your long-term weight loss and health goals, we'll tell them the benefits. When you're talking to people about results, you really want to be talking benefits. And we've already described to them what blood glucose is. Once again, don't use any terms and just start throwing terms around that you haven't introduced. We actually had a slide that had a definition of what blood glucose is, very simply, and how your blood glucose levels change depending on the types of food you're eating. And we'll tell them when you do this program, you'll begin to release fat, not lose fat. Your body will begin to release fat, and you'll have sustained energy, and your sustained energy levels will increase. And that when you combine all 3 of the components, you're going to lose body fat. Typical loss is about 2 pounds a week. Your cholesterol is likely to go down. You're going to lower your blood pressure. Your blood fats are going to be more favorable and look better. And you're going to reduce the inflammation in your body, which is a major contributing factor to the cause of degenerative diseases. So although these people have come to us strictly for weight loss, they're going to see all these other benefits that they're getting by choosing our solution. We'll usually end the slide with, here's what you're going to get. Here's what you get. You're going to get your very own Reset Coach. You're going to get great tasting meal replacement shakes and bars. You're going to get high quality cellular nutrition. We have a private Facebook support group for just the coaches and the people that choose to do the program. We have a weekly walking group. We have a weekly Zumba session. And we provide those those are free things for anybody that wants to join and do the program. And then at the end, we share successes, and we'll have a low glycemic potluck with prizes. So this is what's presented at the very, very end. And we'll throw, this is a handout that we have for everybody, so they're seeing what they're getting in our program, our educational and our activities, that they're going to be getting these other seminars as we continue to educate them on long-term weight loss and lifestyle change and give them the support they need to actually incorporate that and make it a permanent part of their life. And then a lot of people at this, it's like, oh, well, what does it cost? And I let most people know. We'll bring up a slide maybe like this one, and we'll tell them, we call it, it's really redirected spending. You're going to take the money that you're currently either spending on junk food or unhealthy food, or even if you're buying some healthy food but it's not the food that's giving you the results you're looking for, and you're going to channel some of that money into our program, which consists of the NutriMeal, the nutrition bars, and the optimal cellular nutrition. And that for many people, they find that they don't even actually spend additional money. Some people actually save money. Depends on how much money you've been spending on food, how often you eat out, all those other factors. We let them know right up front they may be spending a lot less money than they're already spending on food. And then we'll just get into the program. This slide lays out everything for them. They can see what the 5-day program looks like for breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. They see what the transform phase looks like. They see what the maintain phase looks like, and then we have it all broken down so they can see what the actual cost is on a daily and a weekly basis. And then at the bottom, we actually list out the USANA products needed. And once again, I'm not showing all the slides that we've done in the last 2 weeks of our presentations to everybody. This is just to give you an idea of the anatomy of a solution for people making that emotional connection when they want to solve a problem, A. Number 2, why our solution is different and unique, and 3, look at the results you can get when you actually employ our solution. And with that, I will turn it over for questions and answers. Really, the anatomy is simple, and following it takes some conscious effort to have things always fit that mold. If anybody would like to chime in, you can hit *6, and that will bring you on the call.
George?
I can barely hear you. Can you speak up?
George, this is Kathleen.
Oh, hi, Kathleen. How are you?
Well, I am good. And I just want to thank you for your presentation.
You're very welcome.
Simplification really makes a difference. I'm sure that's how I lost some potential customers, was I didn't make it so simple.
Well, you certainly aren't alone in that. It's been a universal problem for businesses probably since the beginning of time, making things too complicated. But it really is that simple. I mean, those are the 3 parts. They're always there, and we always want to make them simple. You can do the anatomy, but you can mess it up by, presenting complicated solutions or confusing people with results, and boy, they just walk away.
Is it good,
George?
Colin?
Hello?
Hello, George. My name is Wendy.
Oh, hi, Wendy.
Thank you very much for the call. And on your last slide, is that something that is accessible to us about the cost? Because that is also very, very informative as far as people always ask me, well, what's the cost?
What's the cost?
I haven't seen one broken down like that and wondered if that was something we could access.
Well, you certainly can. I always make the slides available, but I want to tell you that if there's a little note on there, it says prices include shipping to Clearwater, and those prices I tell people when they look at that, those are actually shipping prices included. So I don't know, where are you located, Wendy?
On Zone 3 in the East Coast. So
Okay.
the shipping would be different probably.
Is what I would do is sign on to your distributor account and put a reset kit, like you're going to buy it, and go to the checkout without checking out and find out, what's the cost.
But for the 4 weeks and the maintain for 4 weeks, you had it by the day, by the meal, and by the week.
Sure. So all I did was I just went onto my USANA account and I put the order together. If you look down there at the bottom, it's 2 boxes of bars, 6 bags of NutriMeal, and either the essentials or the health pack. And the price I did includes the essentials. Put those in the basket, get a total with shipping, right? Pretty easy. And then just divide that out by divide 28 into that, and that'll give you the daily cost. divide 4 into it, it'll give you the weekly cost. People, it's really a good way to present numbers to people so they can actually see how reasonable the program is, and the fact that they're going to get, they're going to get 54 meals out of it. And you can ask them that. How much money would you spend on 54 meals over a 4-week period? Even if you're buying junk fast food, you're spending quite a bit of money. Certainly use these numbers, but just remember, these numbers are for, and that's why I have that little note in there that the prices include shipping to Clearwater Beach, Florida.
Okay.
But they're easy to get, and your numbers would likely be similar. But there's some different. I know when you're ordering products, like in California, there's some states tax supplementation, some don't. Some tax the Nutrimeal, some don't, depending. So you really just need to run the numbers and just let the people know that you're working with, what they are. I like this because it just gives people a nice ballpark. Even here in Florida, somebody in one zip code over from me, the shipping could change by a couple of bucks.
And then how did you put it into that particular slide form? You just use
That's actually a PowerPoint slide.
Okay.
The PowerPoint slide, that's all.
All right.
Happy to share those. Be happy to share those with people. I mean, they're easy to put together. Just simple PowerPoint slide.
Okay.
Just a minute.
I did a lot of presenting in the past at the university, so I got fairly handy with PowerPoint.
Yeah, it's professionally done, so that looks good and very simple.
Yeah, I can. We can make the. I always make the slides available, but as far as the PowerPoint, you're welcome for that.
Get it all. Put some Dawn on it before you do it.
Okay, thank you, George.
You're very welcome. Well, either what I described tonight was I followed my own rules, and I used the anatomy of a solution and made it very, very simple so everybody could understand it, or you're completely confused and you've already left the call. So if anybody else has any other questions out there.
George, this is Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
I noticed that the price right now is basically half off if you get a month's worth. And what I'm wondering is, do you know how long that is going to last?
What are you looking at the screen right now? You're looking at the 4-week transform?
You know what? It probably is the 4-week. I don't have the computer up and running right now.
Okay. That would be 54 meals. That'll last for 4 weeks. So it'd be the weekly cost is $67.90.
And is this for January, or is that going to be like extended? Do we know?
No, that's just a regular price. That's the week before they had a special. They put all that stuff in a nice package. 6 Nutrimeals. You couldn't change it. It was 2 strawberry, 2 chocolate, 2 vanilla, Biomega,
Essentials.
And the Essentials. Thank you. And they put that all together in a really nice package to save about $70. I'm going to do that.
That was over on the 13th, though, George.
Yeah, that was over on the 13th. That's right.
That's right. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
George, this is Wendy again. We're putting together a reset challenge as well, and I was just curious how you ran your group, if you did your meeting or support thing weekly while they did, or daily while they did the 5-day, and then did you do a weekly support thing while they're doing the transform?
Yes, we started 2 weeks ago. Let me go back here a couple of slides. And here's the schedule right here for our Reset Weight Loss Challenge. So, not last weekend, not last Sunday, the Sunday before, we had our informational presentation. And people started right there. We had people that started. In fact, we've had great results. The 2 people I talked to each lost 8 pounds in the first 5 days. And then we had a walking group on Saturday that they could attend, and we had a really good, nice turnout for the walking group, and a lot of questions were coming up there. And then we had the low glycemic eating presentation. I just used a couple of those slides. That really deserves an entire presentation to help people understand that terminology and what it means. And we had some just great examples of that. And that went really well. But what we did was there were so many. There were another 3 or 4 people that couldn't make it to the January 8th presentation for the informational presentation. So we did that again. At 6 o'clock before we did the low glycemic presentation. So we actually did both of the presentations on January 15th. We did the informational presentation, then we took a little break, and then we went right into the low glycemic eating presentation. And then everybody's assigned a weight loss. Everybody that brings somebody, the group that's there, like Pete Thibodeau, he's a Reset weight loss coach. So I'm a Reset weight loss coach. Gemma Hughes is a Reset weight loss coach. So everybody gets assigned whoever brings whoever to the event, that's their customer, and that's their coach. Now, in some cases, we may assign a different coach on the team if somebody's just bringing people but's not ready to be or doesn't want to be a coach. Or isn't ready to do that, so we'll have somebody else on the team actually coach the person.
Take out 2 stones.
Okay. And so they actually do the hands-on with that person?
Yes. Stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
They're there to answer questions. Because support is so huge for lifestyle change and weight loss. It's just absolutely critical. And that's one of the things that makes our program different is you get a personal weight loss coach. Remember, once again, we're talking what's your unique selling proposition. Well, if you're guiding somebody through a Reset weight loss or a Reset weight loss challenge, they get that personal connection. Very, very important to have.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's very helpful.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference for people, and they really appreciate that. We had, I can't tell you, there was 4 people came up to me afterwards, and they just thanked us for this presentation and the connection and the walking group and this education that they're getting and the results that they'd already gotten just from starting out with the Reset weight loss kit. Now, some of the people, we tell them if you don't want to start off fast with the Reset weight loss kit, just start right off with the transformation phase.
Well, some of them are wanting, it's a couple of them are saying, no, I think I'm just going to do the Reset kit, and I try to educate them about, what would be the benefit of doing the Transform, sliding right into it, but, it's up to them. So I'm hoping that for some of them who do the Reset, they feel the difference, and then they'll decide differently later on, because most of them have tried everything, Weight Watchers and everything else, South Beach diet, the whole bit. So, but I emphasize to them too, like you're doing. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet.
It's not a diet, and that's one of our unique selling propositions. This isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle change. And, those 3 components, we just keep taking it back to those 3. You need to master these 3 things here. And of course, optimal cellular nutrition is probably the easiest one. You're going to be taking the essentials, in the AM and the PM. That's probably the easiest. Mastering low glycemic eating, it's going to take a little bit more. But the presentation that we put together, and I didn't include those slides here tonight. I'd have to load up another 20 slides with this. But we have we really worked hard at explaining the glycemic index in a very, very understandable way. With some great illustrations, some pictures. And when people see that, they're shocked. And that's what you want to do. You want to shock them. You want them to know that a potato or a bowl of Kellogg's Corn Flakes has a much higher glycemic index than table sugar. We've already, we explain, we talk about what high blood sugar does to you and how it wreaks havoc on your health. So they understand that when we move into this, and then they see some of the differences in foods, and it just blows them away. Because it's all about getting them educated, because we really like to, we really want to retain them as a customer for life. One of the things Wendy just asked was, she has a couple of people that just want to do the Reset kit, and that's fine. We actually had a gentleman that just did the Reset kit the first week. He lost 8 pounds. He came to our second presentation on the glycemic index and watched that and decided that he needed more product. And we didn't even have extra product to sell him on Sunday, so we had some extra Reset kits. So he bought another Reset kit just so he could have enough product, and he put an order in right there on the spot with Pete, so that he could have just some more Nutrimil and bars and essentials when he ran out of his second Reset kit. So one of the things I think is important when you start somebody on the 5-day reset, is to follow up with them after 5 days to see where they're at and to do some further education with them. In this case, this gentleman actually bought another Reset kit and bought enough product to get him going on the Transform phase after he ran out of his second Reset kit. So that's why I think this program is going to work for us better, is because we're just not doing a one-shot deal where we're trying to sell them a Reset kit and then hoping they're going to stay on some of the products. We're going to finish educating them on the lifestyle changes and actually
Not all of it,
help them do it.
most of it.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions about how to apply the anatomy of a solution here? Because it works with everything. It works with our business. If you're presenting a business opportunity to somebody, if it really doesn't matter. And we all do it ourselves. We're looking. We have problems, needs, or desires. We're looking for a solution, and we want to have the results that solution provides. I hit star 5. We had a little bit of background noise, so if anybody has any other questions, they can hit star 6, and they'll be back on the call. One of the gentlemen that I've worked with in the past sent me an email, and he had a person that was looking at the Reset Weight Loss Challenge, and they wrote in and they asked him some questions, and basically, it's an objection to the Reset Weight Loss plan that he's recommending. And his question was, how does he address that and get back to this person? We'll dissect that one. There's some great ways to respond. He sent me the email that she had sent. There's a great way to respond to that, and I'll probably bring that on the call next week. We're running a little short of time here, and I don't actually have a slide so I can bring the information up. And I want to make sure that I have permission to use the information. So it would be a great one, because as we're going forward here, I had a few people that were at our thing, and a lot of people have different ideas about weight loss and diet. And when you're talking food, it can get very challenging to talk to somebody about their food. It's a very primitive thing for most of us. It's an essential thing of life, and food can be a very, very, very touchy subject. One of the things I like to tell people, what I told them in our presentation on the glycemic index and how different foods respond differently in your body, that you could be a vegan and be healthy or not healthy. You could be a vegetarian and be healthy or not healthy. You could be eating a completely mixed diet and be healthy or not healthy. And that the principles that we're teaching will work if you're a vegan or a vegetarian or you're eating a mixed diet. Once you understand what the glycemic index is, how it works, and how food works in your body, then, because I know a lot of vegans that are extremely healthy, and I know some that are quite unhealthy and overweight. It's because they think they can eat anything that's vegan and they can eat as much as they want, and they end up loading up on high glycemic pastas and breads and not eating enough of the other food types of lower glycemic types, and they end up gaining weight. So the thing that I like about the principles that we're teaching with our program, the Reset program, and our Reset Weight Loss Challenge, is the fact that the principles we're teaching can work for any diet type, pretty much, any healthy diet type.
George?
Yes.
This is Lorenzo.
Oh, hello.
How you doing? Say, I just have been wondering about this weight loss challenge. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought or considered maybe presenting this to the entire group, possibly? Actually, like maybe doing those weekly, follow-up, those like that 6-week or whatever it is, that slide that you showed a little earlier. I know it's impossible to be able to do it, over the internet, the walking group and the Zumba group, but those weekly information things, if it was somehow that you could actually present this or allow participation to be web-based as opposed to locally based.
We definitely want to, is what we're working on doing now, is putting this all together, and we wanted to get these local groups, the one up in Morgantown, West Virginia, and the one down here in St. Pete working, and kind of get all the kinks out of it, and get the, because it's a good amount of work to actually put the information together in a concise, attractive package so that it's, the solutions are simple. They're simple and they're explained simply. And we wanted to get all that together, and when we get done moving through this Reset Weight Loss Challenge, the second one we're doing here in Morgantown and down here in St. Pete, then we want to take it online. And certainly people will be able to bring other people, and other people will be able to take advantage to what we're offering out there for sure.
Okay, good. All right, yeah.
Because the low glycemic eating is just, that one is just has to be done really well, and people need to understand that. And one of the ones that I didn't have on the event list that we need to have on there is, and I've already have the presentation done, I've given it before, is the need for supplementation or the need for optimal cellular nutrition, and why that is so critically important to what we're offering here for weight loss, long-term weight loss and health. And that one it's not on our schedule, and I think the one that for behavior modification for week 4 will probably, the gentleman that was going to give that's actually going to be in Haiti, working with an orphanage. So I'll probably change that one and maybe give that one on optimal cellular nutrition. And so by the time we get done with this by week 6, which would be the middle of February, we'll have all of these done. We are going to put them all together, and then we'd love to offer them online.
Okay, good. Glad you were thinking that way.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, there's more business and more customers out there for all of us. There's no end to it, and it's really inviting people and bringing them to these events. And the more people we can get doing this, the more it helps all of us in our business. It helps USANA Health. One of my goals is to help USANA go from a $500 million a year company to a $1 billion a year company. What an awesome thing. Just think the amount of health and wealth we'll create as that happens. And it's happening.
Right. Are you familiar with some work kind of similar to this, but with a little bit different? It's actually called 21-Day Trim Down. There's a couple of women from Ohio that have kind of put together this program. It's all USANA based, and it's using all the NutriMeal shakes and all, and it's a 21-day program that they've developed. They just kind of I heard about it just about a week or so ago, and it was actually introduced to our kind of local group here in San Antonio. I'm here in San Antonio, and it was also, obviously, this time of the year, what you're doing with this Reset Challenge and this other 21-day, trim down is it's so.
There's different ways you can. The thing that I like about working with USANA Health Sciences and the products that we're working with, they can be packaged and marketed many different ways. Gemma Hughes is the one who pioneered this on our team. She wanted 6 weeks. She's been she's an exercise physiologist. She's been doing fitness training and this kind of a business for, let's see, how long has Gemma been doing it for? I think she's been doing it for about 15 years. And she really knows her customer base and what seems to work. So she's the one, I don't want to take credit for this, she's the one who pioneered this, the 6 weeks, the time frame, and all of that. Now, somebody else might see a 21-day plan, because if you take a reset kit and you add 2 weeks of Transform to it, you end up with 19 days. You actually end up with 19 days. And you can end up with a nice package that way too. So there's a lot of different ways to package this. I think one of the most important things that needs to happen, though, is that ongoing connection and building that relationship with the customer and building that emotional connection with your customer. Because what we really want in this business are customers for life. I've had many of my customers have been my customers now for nearly since I started the business almost 3 years ago. So I spend a lot of time and effort to try and make sure that my customers, I'm giving top-notch customer service and that my customers are happy and taken care of, and that I'm giving them what they need. So I want to, if somebody wants to do a lifestyle change, I just don't want to throw a reset kit at it and sell it to them. I know people have sold tons of reset kits, but they're not following up and they're not doing those things, and they're doing their business a disfavor, and they're doing their customer or their client a disfavor as well. One of the calls I did a few weeks back was on Gary Vaynerchuk's Thank You Economy, and it's really about giving over the top customer service, and that's always been his customer edge. And doing that, he actually took his family business from $2 million to over, I think he does like $60 million a year now in his wine business or something like that. So it's just incredibly important to give good customer service, and because that's what people are really looking for. They really want that. Some of the statistics I threw on that call, people will pay more money for quality products and services. They will. They'll pay quite a bit more, actually, up to 25% more for quality products or services, which is amazing. And we certainly have the quality products, so it's our job to add this quality service to it and get these people educated. I think educating people about their health and how to use these products to achieve their health goals is a service that we're all in. I mean, that's the business we're in with USANA Health Sciences, helping people achieve their health goals. So.
Well, you're doing a great job. So.
Well, thank you, and I feel free to use the material and use it any way you can to build your business. Appreciate the comments.
Okay.
Anybody else out there before we call it a night here? It's been good. It's always good to have questions at the end. I think the questions are very helpful, just not for the person asking them. They help me because it helps me think through things and formulate things in my mind, and I know it helps everybody else on the call as well. So I appreciate everybody that chimed in tonight and asked questions. With that, I will bid everybody a good evening, and we will catch you on the call next week. Good night, everyone.